there, and welcome to our discussion of Chapter 12. Our textbook covers quite a bit about the history of PR and some of the modern issues of PR, but today I wanted to talk about the functions of public relations and how different firms and people frames messages to shape images about themselves, their governments, different groups. It's a pretty interesting concept in our culture. This is an image you're most likely familiar with, and it was produced in the 1940s during World War II as part of the work campaigns. However, it was not seen very much during that time. It was rediscovered in the 1980s and brought out as an idea for promoting feminism. However, it still stands as a great representation of what public relations messages are. They are communication strategies conducted by an individual, government, or organization attempting to persuade its audience to adopt a point of view. Unlike advertising, PR focuses on crafting an image rather than increasing sales. These ideals often reflect larger trends of ideas percolating through society. American PR drove economic activity after the Industrial Revolution, contributing to living standard improvements. It also set the tone for corporate image building and has greatly shaped our political processes on every level. The process of crafting a PR campaign begins with message formulation. PR firms study audience perceptions of issues, policies, programs, or images of their clients. They focus these messages to target these audiences to shift their ideas. This is an example from the Department of Defense campaign that targets 18 to 24-year-old servicemen who tend to be binge drinkers. And it actually has been a fairly successful campaign getting people to really think about how much they're actually drinking. And it's gone very well with a lot of people hopping onto this website. Another major way of conveying public relations messages is via press releases to media outlets. These media outlets can then take the press releases to search for additional information and interviews, and then craft their own versions of the story. Budget cuts to news outlets translates to more and more reporter dependence on public relations, thus shaping the newsscape. And when I worked as a reporter in Loveland, I did work quite a bit with public relations professionals. A lot of times, especially if I was, say, doing an interview on a story for one of the hospitals, that public relations professional would be my gateway to all of my sources, all the doctors, nurses, sometimes patients, and it was pretty hard to draw a line between, how much information are they feeding me versus how much should I research on my own, and it's always a really tricky balance because you don't want to burn bridges, but at the same time, you still want to try to be an unbiased voice and information. So there used to be a lot more animosity between public relations people and journalists, but I'd say that relationship has shifted a lot the past 20 years with a lot of times, newspaper professionals will shift to working public relations jobs and vice versa. So it's just something to be aware of on how public relations shapes our news landscape. Here's a photo of Lady Gaga at a celebration of the launch of her Born This Way Foundation. It's an example of another aspect of PR, which is the connection of clients or ideas to live events. These special and sometimes even pseudo events are meant to raise client profiles, gain sponsorship and press, and sustain the goodwill between clients and the public. So there you go. There's some pretty quick images and ideas to help you understand how public relations firms and messages function in America.